Right now, millions of passports are about to become worthless. Not expired, not damaged, just invalid. And the people holding them have no idea. Starting this year, a silent rule change is about to strand travelers at gates, cancel dream vacations, and cost families thousands in rebooking fees. This isn't a glitch, it's not a mistake. It's engineered into the system, and if you're planning to travel in 2026, there's a very good chance your passport won't get you on that plane, even if it looks perfectly fine. What you're about to learn could save your entire trip. Let's go. Section 1. The 6-month rule. Nobody talks about. Here's the trap most travelers walk straight into. You check your passport. The expiration date says December 2026. Your flight is in March. You're good, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Because what airlines don't advertise is this. Most countries won't let you in unless your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your arrival date. That's not 6 months from when you leave. 6 months from when you land. So even though your passport says it's valid, to immigration officers in over 150 countries, it's already expired. And here's where it gets brutal. This rule isn't enforced at your destination. It's enforced at check-in. The airline agent scans your passport, sees the expiration date, does the math in their system, and boom. Boarding denied. No warning, no second chance. You don't get to argue with customs overseas because you never make it past your home airport. Countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Spain, and even Mexico strictly enforce this. And in 2026, the enforcement is tightening. Why? Because overstaying penalties have increased. Countries don't want to risk tourists getting stuck because their documents expire mid-trip. So they're rejecting travelers before they even board. Section 2. The blank page crisis. Now let's talk about something even fewer people know. Blank pages. You might think as long as your passport isn't full, you're fine. But immigration officers don't count pages the way you do. Most countries require at least 2 to 4 completely blank visa pages. Not pages with stamps. Not pages with entry or exit marks. Completely blank adjacent pages. Why? Because when you enter a country, they need space for entry stamps, exit stamps, visas, and sometimes health documentation. If you don't have enough room, they won't let you in. And just like the 6-month rule, this gets flagged at check-in, not at your destination. Here's the kicker. Some countries are moving to full-page visa stickers in 2026. That means one visa can take up an entire page. If you're planning a multi-country trip through Europe, Africa, or Southeast Asia, you could burn through pages faster than ever. And adding pages, that's no longer an option. The US stopped offering passport page editions back in 2016. Your only choice now is a full renewal, which takes weeks. Section 3. The name change nightmare. Let's say you just got married. Congratulations! You updated your driver's license, your credit cards, everything. But here's what nobody tells you. Your passport and your plane ticket must match exactly. Not kinda close. Not obviously you, exact. Letter for letter. If your ticket says Sarah Johnson but your passport says Sarah Martinez, the system flags it as a mismatch, and airlines are not flexible about this anymore. Post-2020, security protocols got stricter. Automated systems cross-check your name against no-fly lists, visa databases, and biometric records. One letter off, the system rejects you, and this affects more than just newlyweds. If you go by a nickname, use a middle name casually, or have a hyphenated last name, pay attention. Your legal name, the one on your passport, is the only name that matters when you book. Anything else is a gamble. Some travelers have tried explaining the situation at the gate. It doesn't work. The gate agent has no override ability. Once the system says no, it's over. The fix? Always book flights using the exact name on your passport, even if it feels awkward. Even if nobody calls you that, it's the only name that counts. Section 4. The biometric shift. Here's where things get futuristic and a little uncomfortable. In 2026, airports worldwide are rolling out mandatory biometric verification. That means your face is your boarding pass. Your fingerprints replace your ID. Cameras scan you at check-in, security, the gate, and customs. All automatically. All recorded. Sounds convenient, right? Walk up, get scanned, keep moving. But here's what they're not saying. If your biometric data doesn't match your passport photo, you're pulled aside for manual verification. And that process can take 20 minutes or more, especially during peak travel times. Why does this matter? Because a lot of people look different from their passport photo. Maybe you got a new hairstyle, lost weight, grew a beard, had surgery. The system doesn't care. If the facial recognition software flags a mismatch, you're stuck in secondary screening while everyone else boards. And if you're thinking you can opt out, think again. In many airports, biometric screening is becoming mandatory for international flights. The manual verification line still exists, but it's slower, longer, and staffed by fewer agents. Airports want you in the digital lane because it's faster for them. But if something goes wrong, you're the one who misses the flight. Section 5. The Passport Renewal Trap. Okay, so you realize your passport is cutting it close. Time to renew, right? But here's the new problem. In 2026, the US State Department's online renewal system sounds amazing on paper. No mailing, no waiting at a post office. Just upload, pay, done. Except it's not that simple. First, online renewal only works if you meet very specific criteria. Your current passport must have been issued when you were 25 or older. Your name can't have changed, and your passport must fall within a specific issue window. Miss any of those? You're forced back into the mail system. But here's the real trap. Once you submit an online application, you're locked in. You can't upgrade to expedited service later. You can't switch to an in-person appointment. And if your trip suddenly becomes urgent, too bad. Your application is already processing. Processing times? They're advertised as 6 to 8 weeks, but that's an estimate, not a guarantee. During peak travel seasons, it can stretch to 10 or even 12 weeks. And if there's any issue with your application, a missing signature, a blurry photo, anything, they send it back, and you start over from zero. Smart travelers are skipping online renewal entirely and going straight to expedited mail or in-person appointments at passport agencies. Yes, it costs more, but you get certainty, you get speed, and you don't gamble with your trip. Section 6. The Visa Waiver Problem. Let's talk about a rule that sounds simple but trips up thousands of travelers every single year. The Visa Waiver Program. If you're a US citizen traveling to Europe, you don't need a visa for short trips. You just show up, right? Not anymore. In 2026, the European Union is fully implementing ETIAS. That's the European Travel Information and Authorization System. Think of it like the US ESTA program, but in reverse. Before you fly to any EU country, you need to apply online, answer security questions, and pay a fee. It's not a visa, but it's mandatory. Here's the problem. It takes up to 4 days to get approved. And if you're flagged for any reason, previous travel to certain countries, a common name that matches a watch list, anything, it can take weeks. Travelers who assume they can apply at the airport find out the hard way. No ETIAS, no boarding. And this isn't just Europe. Other countries are rolling out similar systems. Canada has ETA. Australia has ETA. New Zealand has NZA. Every region is moving toward pre-travel authorization. And if you don't know about it, you're not getting on the plane. Section 7. The damage and wear issue. Here's one that catches people completely off guard. Passport damage. You might think a little wear and tear is normal. A bent corner here, a water stain there. But immigration officers see it differently. If your passport shows significant damage, faded text, torn pages, a separated cover, it can be ruled invalid on the spot. And this is subjective. What one agent considers acceptable, another might reject. There's no universal standard. Some travelers have been turned away because their passport got wet on a previous trip, and the pages stuck together. Others because the RFID chip inside stopped working. The chip issue is huge. Modern passports have embedded chips that store your biometric data. If that chip gets damaged, the passport might look fine, but the scanner can't read it. And if the scanner can't read it, you're stuck in manual processing or worse, denied boarding entirely. The fix? Treat your passport like it's made of glass. Use a protective cover. Keep it in a waterproof pouch. Don't bend it. Don't write in it. And if it starts showing any wear, replace it early. Don't wait until you're at the airport to find out it's no longer valid. Final section. The 2026 Travel Checklist. So here's what you need to do right now before your next trip, before you even book a flight. First, check your passport expiration date. If it expires within 9 months of your travel dates, renew it now. Don't wait. Don't risk it. 9 months gives you buffer for the 6-month rule and processing delays. Second, count your blank pages. If you have fewer than 4 completely blank pages, start the renewal process. Third, verify your name matches across all documents. Passport, ticket, booking confirmation, everything. One mismatch can end your trip before it starts. Fourth, research your destination's entry requirements. Does it need ETIAS, ETA, visa on arrival? No before you go. Fifth, update your passport photo if you look drastically different. Don't wait for the biometric scanner to flag you at the airport. And finally, consider getting a passport card as a backup for land and sea travel, or keep a certified copy of your passport info page stored securely in the cloud. If your physical passport gets lost or stolen, you'll have proof of citizenship. Closing CTA. 2026 is the year travel rules stop being suggestions and start being enforced by machines, algorithms, and systems that don't care about your story, your vacation, or your family reunion. The only thing that matters is whether your documents pass the scan. And if they don't, you're not flying. But now you know, you're ahead of the curve. You understand the traps before you fall into them. So take 10 minutes today. Check your passport. Update your info. Renew if you need to. Because the worst time to discover a problem is when you're standing at the gate watching your flight board without you. If this video just saved your next trip, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're covering every major travel change in 2026, the stuff airlines bury in fine print, and the secrets that keep you flying like an insider. Because in this new era of travel, knowledge isn't just power, it's your boarding pass. Safe travels, and we'll see you in the next one.